So, if we can make your time with these kids the most successful, we want to do that. So, this little video clip is about tips, tricks, suggestions. Use one, use them all. Hopefully, some will be beneficial to you. So, the first thing is, I don't know about you, but I don't maintain a order or a list in my head. I have to have something written down. So instead of me referring back to, okay, what are we doing next? Okay, we're going to do tithe and then we're going to do this activity. Okay, I don't want to keep looking at my lesson and taking time away from my kids. So every classroom has a small whiteboard. And whether you want to use the whole thing or just a little corner of it, write down the order that you're doing things. So maybe the first thing is you're going to do the crack it open plug-in activity. So write that down, then tithe. Then I would write down what's going to happen next for catch-on and my order of activities there. Just so that I can just quick glance at it and then I'm back with the kids. Another thing to consider, we mentioned before, just having some fun conversation starters with kids. You can Google this and you'll get all kinds of questions. For me personally, I like to keep a handout of them so that I can just refer to it. Maybe even if you write on that whiteboard 2 questions, just at the bottom of the board so you're not using all of your space, but maybe one is, what would be your dream job when you grow up and be an adult? Or if you could have any pet possible and it would be able to fit in your house, you'd be able to make a special room for it. If it couldn't fit, what would it be? Maybe just even listing those 2 questions on the bottom of your board to know to refer to. And you may think, well, why would I want that? Well, there may be 2 minutes of downtime before it's time to go to large group. Not enough time to do an activity. So, downtime, dead time, can create an opportunity for chaos. So if you have something small to insert, you want to do that. Maybe you guys got done with your prayer activity. It's 10:23. The kids are supposed to be picked up at 10:25 or move on to the next thing. 3 minutes isn't enough to do another activity, so what are you going to do? You have a plan for how you're going to engage them all in conversation. And maybe you write those 2 questions on the board. Maybe you just have a piece of paper and you have one start that you want to do. Something else is to have some type of little squishy, like kind of koosh ball. They have all kinds of these in stores, even like Walgreens. They're just like a little squishy kind of fun thing that's easy to catch. Why would you want that? Well, if you're going to have a discussion with kids, you want them to participate. For some reason, if you pull this out and you toss it to one kid, whoever wants to start, and they answer the question, whether it's, what did Moses do to the rock when God told him to provide water for the people? And you throw it to one kid and say their name. They'll answer it. Then you ask another question and they get to pick who they're going to throw it to. All the kids suddenly want to answer the Bible review questions because they all want this ball. It's just a way to engage kids and give them something to touch in their hands and focus on. So that would be something to consider. An order on the board, kind of 2 backup questions just for fun conversation starters, a type of koosh ball, even just mixing it up. So often I see kids just sitting at the table. Well, we kind of have the table positioned on one side of the room for a reason, so you can sit on the floor with the kids in a circle, or pull up a chair and have them all gather in front of you, or be at the table, or just have space to do an activity on the floor together. There might be times where you don't have enough room in your classroom. Check and see, is anyone using the fellowship hall after large group? And take your kids in there so that you have room to do that activity. Mix it up. You don't want to just have your kids sitting at the table for the duration of your time. It's proven that blood circulation, by moving after so long, kind of refocuses your brain to get your blood flowing. And if you can get them moving around, even if it's just from the table to the floor, wherever, that's going to help. Or maybe even you notice your kids are a little squirrely. Okay, we're all getting up and doing 10 jumping jacks. Let's do it. And do it with them if you can. Or let's see if we can touch our toes 25 times in 1 minute. Go! Just something that's going to give them a quick burst of energy is going to help refuel them if you notice they're kind of antsy. I know you and I know what it's like to sit in a long meeting or be sitting at a desk or whatever for a long time, kids especially. Another thing that is going to be listed in your curriculum is tithe container ideas. We do that because we want tithe to be kind of a fun thing for kids. We want to surprise them with it. So you might notice that it says to bring in a different tithe container. You'd be surprised. Anything can be a tithe container. A sock, a hat, a gift bag. One time, my co-leader took the batteries out of a flashlight, and that was our tithe container. Or took the disc out of the DVD box, brought in a cereal box. Really anything that can hold some kind of quantity can be a fun tithe container. And you find that kids, they like being surprised by what you're going to bring. And it's just another element for fun. And we have to incorporate fun into the Sunday morning for kids. They're kids. A final thing to consider is more just a practicality-based thing, is how you want to divide things up with your co-leader. We have 2 adults in the room for several reasons, but one great benefit to you is to share the load. You might find that your co-leader takes the plug-in activities for that Sunday and you do the catch-on ones. You may decide you lead all this Sunday and I'll be the helper. I'll be the one that helps manage the kids, any discipline things. Or you might, any number of ways that you want to split it up. Maybe I'll just decide we're both going to lead plug-in, we're both going to lead catch-on. Whatever's going to work, just come up with a plan for the 2 of you so that you can be reinforcing one another and just make it the best for each other and the best for the kids. So hopefully some of those ideas just help you and make you even more successful in your Sunday morning experience.